How did garage punk revival bands handle raw sound? Imagine stepping into a room where the music feels like it's bursting out of the walls. That's the vibe garage punk revival bands aimed for with their raw sound. They wanted to capture the energy and spirit of the 1960s garage rock and early punk scenes. To do this, they kept things simple and unpolished on purpose. They avoided slick, overproduced recordings and instead went for a lo-fi style that made the music feel more real and immediate. One of the main ways they achieved this raw sound was by using heavily distorted and fuzzy guitars. These thick, gritty tones created a wall of noise that sounded aggressive and rebellious. The distortion made the music feel loud and unrefined, which matched the attitude of the genre. They also stuck to straightforward, repetitive guitar riffs that were easy to sing along with. These riffs kept the songs catchy and unpretentious, emphasizing the raw emotion behind the music. The drums were kept simple and pounding, often with basic beats that pushed the music forward without complicated fills or technical showmanship. This kept the focus on energy and rhythm. Vocals were delivered in shouted, raspy, or sometimes screamed styles. This added a sense of urgency and defiance, making the songs feel more intense and authentic. Garage punk revival bands often recorded using low-fidelity techniques. They used vintage or basic equipment to keep the sound rough and vintage, instead of aiming for a polished studio quality. This approach preserved the raw garage feel and made the recordings feel more genuine. Many of these bands also followed a do-it-yourself ethic by releasing music on independent labels or self-releasing. This helped keep the rawness intact and maintain their authenticity. Lyrically, the focus was on themes like teenage rebellion, social frustration, and alienation. These topics matched the raw emotional tone of the music. Live performances were usually in small venues like bars, basements, or garages. These intimate settings naturally contributed to the energetic and unfiltered live sound. This style was a clear reaction against the slick, commercial rock sounds of the 1980s and mainstream music. It aimed to bring back the immediacy and raw energy of early garage rock. Bands in the garage punk revival scene drew inspiration from pioneers like the Sonics, the Seeds, and the Stooges. Later bands like the White Stripes and the Black Lips continued this tradition. In essence, garage punk revival bands handled their raw sound by embracing distortion, keeping things simple, recording with lo-fi techniques, shouting vocals, and sticking to a DIY approach. Their goal was to create music that felt urgent, authentic, and connected to the rebellious roots of punk and garage rock.